Hello, welcome back. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed and liked and commented. You guys are really nice and helpful. Today we have another 10Q game, which I think it's this one and then one more, and then we'll rank up to 9Q. Then we can do some 9Q games. See if that's any different. Okay. And again, just focusing on star points. And I'm white in this game. He approaches. He plays this one, which if you like more, I guess, more territory-oriented games, this one works. If you wanted to build a large area, I think this one's a little bit better. Looks nice with the 4/4 stone, but I think either way is fine. Though with this one, because you're low here, you don't really want to try and build a big area over here because it's already low. So you want to do something more aggressive. So in this situation, I would play here. So it's aiming at the corner, and if white invades over here, this group is strong, so you can just fight and be aggressive. He kicks here. Again, there's all of these weaknesses on the bottom side, and white gets a nice base. Okay. He approaches here. Here's one of those situations where either you go all the way, because now an invasion here, you have both sides that you can aim for. Or you just go to the corner, and then you're pretty much saying that I don't really care about anything over here. But the in between, the corner is still open, and it's not really affecting this group. So you don't really want to go with the in between most of the time. You want to do one thing or the other. I just play it here. This move is also playable. This one might be a little bit better, but I prefer just staying close to the corner. And the reason I play on this side is the stone's low, this one's high, and there's more space between this one and this one. So this is the most valuable side. So he plays here. Like these stones are low. This one's high, but that's about it. This stone is low, this stone's high, but black doesn't really have any potential to build anything in the center. Like it looks very hard. So in that situation, you don't want to just make an extension for no reason. It'd be better to just take points like this. And in this shape, you normally don't want to do something like this. Because, yeah, you get the corner, but now the outside is nice and strong. Black has Sente, so maybe he can actually turn this move into a somewhat good move. Can also consider this one, which, if they defend the corner, then you can jump out and separate this stone. Maybe aim at some weaknesses over here later. If he tries to do this one, so if we do the same thing as before, where we jump into the corner, and let's just say we play the same way. Now, before he played here, and now you can see white has the choice of playing here again, but now there's this much better move here. But even if that wasn't there, let's say we just lived and then he came back and connected, we can see he spent extra moves here to make this his area, and it's not really even his area yet because white can still try and do stuff over here, but you would want to do that much later in the game. So you can see it makes a big difference. So this is probably the best move, but I did not play that one. I did this one. I played this one because to me it's just more simple. Either I get the corner or I get the outside. And if I get the corner, I'm getting more of the corner than if I just play the 3/3. So he defends his corner. Here he should just extend, and then I just make a base. And then the stone gets cut off, he gets a nice corner, and black has Sente, so I don't think it's It's not that bad for either side. He plays this one, which normally you want to avoid leaving weaknesses like this. Okay, and again, normally you don't want to let your opponent Hane at the head of 2 stones, so you'd want to extend. And then I would come back and defend my weaknesses in some way, like this would be probably the most solid way. Then again, this is cut off. And now he just has a lot of weaknesses here. So I played this one, and then he cut right away. Then I threaten the snapback. Connects, and then I descend. So here, he should just go here, take his points. I get a few extra points here, and this would be good for black. I should probably just go ahead, sacrifice this, since he already defended the snapback. He's over-concentrated. And then I can connect and defend my weaknesses. And if he goes here, then I get this Atari. Then my shape looks pretty good. But instead I played this move for some reason, which is not good, because again, he gets to go here, and that's just clearly better for black. But instead, he just responded. Let me correct my mistake, which you don't want to let your opponent do. And also, don't play this move. You're gonna have to come here anyway, so you might as well just do it first. And this move is not Sente. When you play this move and then connect, like he did in the game, it lets me play this move now, which makes these stones a lot weaker and these stones a lot stronger. But again, just to be safe, I just added a move here so that he couldn't really cut me. He goes here. These stones are kind of small, but I don't want to let him play here, because then this opens up some weaknesses in here. There's some cutting points here now. So I play this Atari to not save these 2 stones, but to make sure my groups are stronger. And then now if I were to play here, now it's bad, because again, these stones are just too small right now. Black should just Tanuki and probably try to save these stones. So instead, I just Tanuki. I take some solid points. So at this point, these 2 stones are very weak. Even if he adds a stone or 2 there, he can't really live too easy without giving me something. There's really no point in me like playing something here and like trying to take his base away or forcing him to run out. I don't get that many points, and there's no real goal to attacking this. Like I can't really, not a good way for me to pressure this to make points in the center or to make points on the other side. So if you can't see a way to profit from the attack, then play something else that you can see profit, like playing in this corner. It makes my corner strong, gives me maybe some potential over here, not much, but some. And this group is still weak. You don't have to be so impatient when you attack. You can take your time, and like let's say they defend, you go here, it's still weak. They add another move somewhere, then you go here. This group is still not alive because white still has this move here because of the mistake here. And you can see white's moves are making a lot more points, while black is just trying to live, but hasn't really succeeded yet. He plays this move, which I think is a good move. I would want to be playing something light over here to save this area, but if we ignore the top area, this is a good move. This is a point where both would like to play. So like if white plays here, you can see white's growing his area and reducing. The only issue is it's slightly better for white than it is for black, because black is low over here, so it can be pressed down pretty easy. And still some weaknesses in the corner, and then this area is pretty strong for white, so he doesn't have to worry too much. Okay, so I played this move. I really played this move because I wanted to show you guys, I guess it could be called a Joseki with this shape. So what I was hoping for is he played the correct move here, but um, normally in this shape, this move is normally the best move. In this case, it isn't. So normally you would press here, and then you can press here, and then go here. Then you can see that you just made a nice wall pretty easily here. This group is strong. This group has some weaknesses, but if you go in the corner, you can just simply go with this one. And then it's totally fine. Okay. But he played here. Now this has a second follow-up. The first one is pressing down. Second one is you can attach here. Just threatening to Hane here, and also maybe make a base. But black doesn't really feel very very good here because he keeps getting pressed down. And I'm not making very good moves here, but it works out. So I just again fix my weaknesses and then run away because it's a weak group and you don't want to let it stay weak. And the only reason I feel safe having this weak group is because if you look at all my other groups, like this is strong, this is strong, this is strong, maybe some weaknesses here, but not really enough to be too worried. Okay, so again, just gonna run away, make sure I'm safe. Now here, I'm not sure why he did this. He might have been worried about this cut here, but that's not too important. You want to keep running here. You just want to try to get out further. Because I have a wall here, but because of this stone, I'm not really making any points. And getting stones out here makes this cut less valuable, and he's alive down here. But this is also reducing my area over here, and then potentially connecting here, or at least reducing the area. But instead he plays this move, which gives me this. I would say this is a huge move. It may not look that big, but it's pretty much cutting black off from this entire area. It's also making my group way stronger, because now there's really no chance of it getting surrounded. And this getting stronger is making, again, this weaker, so it's giving me a lot of potential in the center. And then Ihane's making it easier for me. And then I just extend on the side. No matter what I do, I could go this way. And yeah, I get a lot of points here, and it's pretty big, but now you can see this group is getting into trouble. Which, the center is probably big enough to where I can probably give that away and still be ahead, but you don't want to let yourself get surrounded so easily, unless you have a plan for it. So here I just defended this group. He goes out, and then again I just make some solid points here. This group is fine. I don't really need to be greedy, and so I'm just going to play nice and solid, take my points. He gets into the area a little bit, just defend my cuts. And then this was a mistake. He has a cut, so he should just defend it. Let's go with a solid connection. And then I jump here. Again, you don't want to let him connect to his weak stones too easily. But instead he did this one. And these two stones are not that important. Like this group is really strong, so there's no chance of killing it, so I don't need to worry about this cut. So I probably could go here, then he still has to come back and defend, and I can jump anyway. But let's say he does something like this, and then I cut. And then he does something to try and live here. While it looks like it might not work, it's a risky move, I would say. Like, you don't know what'll happen. And if you're playing someone that's about as strong as you, then you can't say for sure that you'll be able to kill it. So I like this move because it's the safer option. It's keeping the weak group separated from the strong group. And then I'm still connected. This move was too small. You should be running out. And then again, I'm just focused on keeping these separated. And then he reduces a large area. And he's strong here, so maybe he can try and reduce this area a bit. but it's probably more important to jump in here. But instead he played this move, which was slow. Like this cut doesn't seem like it would ever be important, so this stone should be just not thought of. So I played where he should have played and just surrounded more points. He tries to cut, and then he double cuts. If you're gonna play a move like this, you always have to back it up. Like so, you always have to cut. I would probably play one of these moves, maybe this one, and then there's really not much he can do. So like if he tries to cut, probably can just go here, then keep pushing, and then jump out. Then there's some weaknesses here, but I just defend like this, and then he can reduce me a bit, but it doesn't matter too much. But instead he cut like this, and so I just stop myself from being split, stay nice and strong and connected. He extends here, so he's trying to attack these stones, and we don't want to let him surround, even though it doesn't look like it's too big of a deal. You don't want to let yourself get surrounded. So I run out. Also, I probably could have just ran out a little bit further and it would have been a little bit easier. But this works too. Okay. And you can see how I spent all these moves over here to make myself stronger. And here you can see it benefiting from that. Like if this cut was still here, then I'd be in a lot of trouble. Because he can cut, and then this gets cut off, and then these stones might get in trouble before the Atari, and I wouldn't be able to defend both sides. But because I prepared for it and I defended my weak points, I can be more aggressive, and it'll work out. Okay, so he plays this move. I just, again, stay connected. He defends his cutting point. He has 2 cutting points. Play here, threatening to connect. Because if I cut right away, I do something like this, which doesn't quite give him 2 eyes, but it gives him more options. So I just send, threatening to connect, and also just making my group stronger, less weaknesses. It prevents me from connecting, and now I cut. He goes here, and at this point, I don't really need to do much. I could just go here to cut these 3 stones, because it's a lot easier to capture the 3 stones than all these stones. If I wanted to, I also probably could just Tanuki and start playing endgame, because it's pretty much game over at this point. But instead I threaten to connect. If I can connect, then it just makes it easier. And you kind of want to stop your opponent from connecting. But instead he played here and here. And at this point, it's just game over. Here's another a Moyo game. Hopefully it doesn't get too repetitive, but I feel like a lot of the concepts I covered so far are pretty important of staying strong, defending weak points. Like I feel like that's probably the biggest thing to going up in rank is just defending your own groups. Yep, thank you for watching. See you again next Sunday.